The kingdom of heaven has come near to you. This is the third part, and I think the last and final part of the Charlie Kirk conspiracy videos. So I have done a lot of research and I want to share what I've found. It doesn't seem like the broadcasted assassination was legit. It seemed like it was faked. And at first, it seemed obvious that some TPUSA staff were responding peculiarly. Same with the wife. And it seemed like they knew that something was going to happen. And so, because of that, it gave me reason to believe that some deep state shadow government reached out to them and was like, look, this is going down. Y'all don't have a choice. We're gonna have him pass away, and if y'all don't go along with it, then we'll have someone close to you be passed away. That was my first theory in the first and second part of this video from like a couple days ago. But that's changed now. So it seems like some organization may have came to the TPUSA folks and were like, hey, we're not gonna we're not gonna stage an assassination as truthful but as fake. So y'all are gonna go along with having Charlie having something on his neck under looks like skin is over it, like a device that makes blood come out of it as a fake thing to make it seem like he got shot. There was also at the campus, it seems like a maintenance trap door on the grounds right below where the table was. So when the fake blood came from his neck and the sound of a gun came from elsewhere, he may have fallen and went into the trap door, and somebody else's body may have been pulled up and they may have went out with someone else's body. I don't know why they would have done that, but that's a possibility. Otherwise, it seemed like the security staff knew that he wasn't really actually going to get shot. And so it makes me think like, it's made me think like, so did maybe that happen because there was word that somebody was really trying to assassinate him? So the idea to safeguard him is like, let's pretend like he gets passed away, but we'll secretly keep him safe. And it's even made me think of questioning and doing this video because the idea that talking about this could change things could incline me to not talk about it, but even at that, it still feels called to talk about it. So previously I was saying how if he was to come into the public sphere as alive, it would be difficult because, and I didn't get into this with more words then, but the idea is that emotionally and mentally, for quite some time, for weeks now, people have processed the passing. So that's just kind of difficult to reprocess the idea that someone is actually alive. Another thing came up on a lot of YouTube videos, the comparison of a movie with Nicolas Cage from many years ago that foreshadows this exact event with with a very similar name of Charlie and an assassination and a very similar date in the movie at a boxing event. And these Turning Point USA events were kind of like debating events. They're kind of like metaphorical boxing. It's very odd. It makes me think to myself, how could a movie from years ago line up so well with an event years later? And it made me think about remote viewing that I've learned from a YouTuber. So it seems like maybe someone remote viewed the future of this event and decided to put it into a movie to foreshadow. And I think that's been done before, where big events have been hinted at and foreshadowed in other movies. Like a presidential election and a big catastrophic collapse of buildings. So I realized we're in the year of the snake for the Chinese zodiac because of the movie with Nicolas Cage called Snake Eyes. And I've seen the movie years ago. The comparisons are just really wild. So it doesn't bear much weight though, right? So if someone remote viewed something that happened in the future and they put it into a movie years ago and then it comes out turning to be true anyways, like, so what? You just remote viewed what was going to happen. And you used your own names, and ways to put it together. In one perspective, it don't matter. But it seems like a witness protection program. So here's the thing though, things keep surfacing differently. So in one way to look at it though, mentally, in the mind, he had passed away. And now mentally, he's like alive again. It's very much a Jesus Christ thing. But someone mentioned that if the government wanted to fake a passing away to put him in secret protection program, they could have done so very well, but it seems like someone commented on the way it was done as being very sloppy because you could see bulges in his t-shirt as if like there was a device to make blood come out of, like fake blood, um, or a burst of air to make it look like a gunshot. And then there's also talk of CGI used for cameras for making it seem like there was a bullet hole. I was also watching videos days ago about the type of gun that was retrieved from the so-called gun that the bullet came from, but I don't think any bullet ever went to his neck. Nevertheless, the type that was recovered and the type of ammo, it would have like blown a hole. It would have had entrance wound, not visible with blood, and an exit wound with big spray of red stuff. And that didn't happen. And the autopsy report of like the vertebrae that was hit, but like with the angle of his head and where it was, and the angle of the said trajectory from the roof, it would have been impossible to it would have had to go through his mouth or his teeth to hit that part of his neck. So the autopsy was lying or the angle was lying. It's just a lot of A lot of fake things, a lot of false things. So, and then Mr. Jim Brewer was pointing out Illuminati symbolism with Eric Trump, and, Miss President Donald Trump. So, and the hand sign of Mr. Nicolas Cage in the movie Snake Eyes. So, and Miss Candace Owens. So the whole thing is like, is President Trump and Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, are they all a part of this Illuminati thing? Oh, or maybe that picture with Candace and Charlie was faked. There's AI. So the gaslighting could make it seem like, oh yeah, they're in on it too when they're not. Um, so there's the idea that there was Jewish donors that no longer wanted to supply funds for Turning Point USA through Charlie Kirk, and so I think there was upset Jewish donors, and so there's some video of this Israeli president saying after the broadcasted assassination, as it seemed, the leader was saying that he didn't do it, that they weren't a part of it. That seems very skeptical. Somebody would say that they didn't do it when they weren't even accused of it. But this movie Snake Eyes has a part of the plot involving the country Israel. So it's very interesting how the country Israel is involved in the movie Snake Eyes, and there's all these parallels to the assassination. There's some stuff just goes over my head, and I let it go over my head on purpose because it just doesn't feel worth entertaining the value of it, at least for this time at hand. And it has seemed like that before, but maybe there was some. So maybe someone was from Israel was trying to assassinate Mr. Kirk. Maybe the FBI found out about it. Maybe they're like, okay, we're gonna fake his death and save him. And maybe that's just that. But here's the thing, people on YouTube like myself and others are talking about it now. And this the whole Tyler Robinson thing, that's the fall. Like he didn't even I don't think he did it. Nobody shot anything. So so what's happening? I was at the campsite chilling and I looked up my phone and it said Charlie Kirk shot dead. And I'm recovering from that through many tears, many songs, many reflections, many videos. I'm realizing that there was more to it. Bro, at first it just seemed like so and some other video was saying that the president uh presidential attempt of assassination in Butler was faked. But then how did the person behind Mr. President-elect Trump get shot, Mr. Corey? Like if someone actually really died, then how fake could it be? So it seems like it's a big Illuminati thing. It seems like I think this organization has a two-part play. It's kind of like an immature child learning that such child could get away with misbehaving as long as someone doesn't tell him to stop. And someone tells him to stop, and he says, well, I can keep misbehaving if I can get them to stop telling me to stop, so I'll try to silence them. But then there's more to it. It's almost as if, like, if someone succeeds in calling out the misbehaving child as such and gets the misbehaving child to stop, then it's almost like the misbehaving child then straightens up and rewards the person as like, you know what, you're right. You have come to the truth, so I will give you the truth now, and I will no longer misbehave. So, I think potentially this secretive evil organization might voluntarily come out and reveal itself and give everybody the opportunity to either forego it or join it. It might kind of say, okay, we've been hiding for a while. We're done hiding. This is what we've been doing, and this is what we do. What say you? I don't like the idea of deception. I like the idea of truth. I don't like the idea of things hiding. I like the idea of things being revealed. So I had the title in my previous video, the part 2 and part 1, of Mr. Charlie Kirk's wife being responsible for such a passing. I didn't mean that in the title literally. That title was passionately created. The passion in there is important. It's not accurate, but the passion is accurate. I was upset that somebody could have been a part of such an assassination. And so my thinking was anybody that would go along with such a thing would be just as responsible. It's kind of like if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. And Erika Kirk, quote unquote, did such action towards him. But that's not what I literally meant. Like, it was said she was in a hospital, so here's the other thing. Check this out. What if she actually was the killer, right? So she could be the Israeli spy. She was like in a beauty pageant. She could have been coached like, hey, you're a beautiful person. We are an organization that go to beautiful people and we try to recruit them to then lure other people into being spies. So she could have been coached into a spy. And she and that Robert McCoy, I don't even like to say his name. If I have a reason for not wanting to say your name, there's a reason. So yeah, so she could have been responsible, bro. She could have been behind all this, and that other guy could have been an affair type of thing, and encouragement from Israel, and there could have been two teams within TPUSA. Team 1, wanting to have him pass away legitly. Team 2, knowing that some people close to them wanted to have him pass away, and rather than allowing it and just sitting back and watching it, staging the fake aspect. And then team 3 is not even of a team, it's just us, the media, sitting back watching this. Boom. What? Oh my word. That really happened. And then a month or so goes by, oh, it didn't really happen? Then what happened? The flux is so pivotal and wavy that from such a center, any sort of possibility could really emerge. At least many possibilities could really emerge. So as one learns and observes, it seems like the truth is still potentially in flux. There's two parts. So in one theory, the truth could be like stagnant, and my perception of of seeing the truth could waver because I'm not really there yet at it. And the other aspect is that I am at the truth, but the outcome of what actually happened is wavering a little bit, and it could really kind of still change. That's a very quantum way of looking at it.